Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Nukem Dukem here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Conception of Siege panel, and then see what new stuff that we may learn or the development of the Siege project. Let me know if the audio is fine on my side, and as well as what you guys are watching.
We are live here from Montreal with the Rainbow Six Siege 6 Invitational. We're having a good time, Montreal. Yes, we are. I hope you're enjoying it on stream as well. We've got a banner right here. This man knows what he's talking about, a great big Chunker fan. Hail Chunker, ladies and gentlemen. This is the man right here. This is Anatoly, but you know him as?
Tachanka.
This is our man right here who's come to join us. Thanks for opening the show for us, Anatoly, as well. Do you mind if I call you Anatoly, or should I just call you Lord, or what do you think?
Call him Lord.
Anatoly's fine.
Oh, he's gentle, isn't he? Oh, it's nice. The Lord is here, everybody. Anatoly, so what do you think then about the fact that you voiced the character of Tachanka and he's become this just celebrity and figurehead and people having so much fun with him?
There's not much I can say. It's just a huge surprise. I never expected that, and it's just I'm taking the ride and I'm enjoying it. And thank you all of you guys for making it happen. So it's because of you that happened. So
it is absolutely down to the community. The incredible community that we have with Rainbow Six Siege. Tachanka's become this figurehead and this character we have so much fun with, all of his followers and everything like that as well. Were you involved at all in creating, I mean, obviously you voice him. Did you have any say or any part in how he sounds? Were you auditioning? How did it come about?
Usually a creative process is what you think of a character, how he would react, act and speak, and you put into the character. Yeah. So it's pretty much, that's how I take on my, let's say, acting parts. I think about it and I do it as natural as it feels to who I am, and it came out to what it came out, so.
And did you try Tachanka in other ways before you settled on
He has
the way
a very
you
soft
deliver him
voice.
now? Was there another Tachanka? Was there a completely different Tachanka sound?
I don't think. I think Tachanka sound, I think a lot close to what I am. So it's pretty much me in the sense that, of course, it's a character, but with my background, I felt this what would feel the most natural and appropriate for this type of operator, and basically I did it and it came easy to me. So, and apparently the fans, they enjoyed it, so, and I guess the formula worked. So.
There is a lot of love for what you've done. You mentioned your backgrounds. If you don't mind me saying, you're quite a big guy. Not just standing next to me, obviously, but quite a big guy. Can I ask you, like, military training, any of that kind of backgrounds?
Yeah, in Russia we had to do military service, so everybody had to do it, yeah. Okay. I did speed skating back in the day. I did some martial arts, mixed martial arts. And just overall trying to stay healthy. Yeah. Try to stay healthy, yeah. So.
Clearly I need to try some more of these things. And I can be big like Tachanka. It's so nice though, right? As you've mentioned already, having fans at an event like this and cheering for the things you do. I have to ask you to do something now. I have to ask you to say, LMG mounted and ready. Are we ready? Okay, here we go.
LMG mounted and ready!
Time to get serious. Come on, say that.
Anatoly, the Lord Tachanka right here.
Oh God, I love Lord Tachanka. He's such a nice, sweet guy.
Thanks for everything you've done for us. Thanks for joining us this weekend as well. Absolute pleasure meeting you. I can never use that hand again. He's really strong. So we're having a lot of fun this weekend at the Six Invitational. Make sure you stick with us. We've got so many things over the next 3 days. But let's go find out how this incredible game all came about. Let's go over to Jen and her panel from Ubisoft, and let's talk about the conception of Siege.
Hi everyone, I'm Jen, product manager, and I'm so happy to be here. Honestly, this is a dream come true. We're here for the first panel of the show, the conception panel, and I'm joined by my fellow panelists, my fellow devs. We have Alex, Matt, and Oli here for us today. So, brand director, tell me your title.
Technical director.
Technical director.
Technical director,
Also technical
graphics.
director. So we're here today to talk about the conception of Siege, the beginnings, how it all started. So every asset we're going to show you was actually not intended for public use, so we apologize for anything that looks a bit weird, but we wanted to give you insight into behind the scenes, how it was when we all started. So today I'll show you guys some words, images, videos, and I just want my fellow panelists to react. Just tell me what you feel, what you remember when I show you something. So let's start with the first thing, the first word, and it's unbreakable. That is a very special word to us. One of you guys just tell me why, what was behind that word for Rainbow Six?
First, Unbreakable, it's the code name of the project. When a game starts conception, every game has a code name before it gets public, right? And this is the one that we choose. There's a particular story I feel about Rainbow Six Siege and how it was created. We went through lots of years that were difficult, and over the ashes on the past project that was called Patriots. Then a new team was mandated to reboot Rainbow Six. And that's that exact word, unbreakable, that we chose as the name for the team and the name for the project. And I think that was how the mindset of the team was at the time. Because you had to be sort of unbreakable to actually jump on that project, team of 25, and just like go on and develop Siege.
And mindset is exactly the right word. I mean, we were taking every aspect of building this game as unbreakable. It was super ironic because we were making a game that was breakable, so everyone had a quirky smile once in a while. But it was really that, from the dev process to getting something into the hands of the players, we were always unbreakable in that aspect.
Yeah, and the goal was to tie up the two, like the spirit of the team and also the technical, like the distraction we had in the game. So like it was really an iconic code word for the project.
I feel like Unbreakable was also like, it works with the game well too, right? Like you're a team, you're a squad. If one falls, you're not going to be that good.
Yeah.
So kind of works all around. So let's go into our second thing. That one is very special too. It's our first image that was kind of presented to the dev team. It's the medieval siege. So that might surprise some people.
Oh, this is old.
Really
I seen this
at the first glance, but
2
when you
2
look
years
at
ago
it
when it got presented
longer,
to me.
I think everyone here can see rainbow. So why don't you guys tell me?
So this was the
how
idea
this
they
image was
came up
first
with for
presented to
Siege
you
based
and
off of this picture.
how it inspired the Rainbow Six gameplay.
Right, to me, this is an absolutely key image within the very, very early stages of conception. This image was presented by our creative director, Xavier, to that whole team of 25 I was talking about earlier. And this basically told us, put us in a room and said, hey, this is the game that we're going to be making. So we all looking at him and said, what do you mean, Rainbow Six Medieval Ages? Laughing, and obviously it was not the case. And that's when he described word by word everything that you see on the picture, which is exactly the game that we're playing today. You are seeing attackers versus defenders, that sort of asymmetrical gameplay and siege. There's obviously the fortress, which is reminiscent of, you know, the walls that we're breaking, the house and the maps that has close quarter combat.
The fortification also.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And a team of defenders ready to go. Like they're not being passive, looking around. They're waiting.
Yeah.
Next to the objective
And the
location.
ram head also like would symbolize the destruction. So I mean, this picture was really just capturing the whole essence of the game design, the early game design, and it was always this image we were going back through when we were talking about different design ideas of the game. So like it's good to have those iconic.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely critical what you're saying here, because one of the difficult and challenge I think when we do conceive games in the early stages is try to put in the mind of everyone in the team the exact idea that you're looking for. And I think again, Xavier, creative director at that moment, like took that picture and helped everyone on the team understand extremely precisely what we were doing, from tech to design to us around the table. And that picture, to me, is so valid, even like 4 years down the road. I'm looking at it, I'm seeing the game, I'm still seeing the game we're making today. So I found that the clarity of the vision is one of the points that was absolutely critical at the beginning of the conception.
And you said it for the beginning, but that image stayed true all the way to ship. Everyone who would come onto the project, that was the
Everyone's
first presentation that they had. And the first slide on that presentation was that image, because it makes the gameplay so clear. The attackers, the defenders, fortification, breach, the tools of destruction that are different from each side, everything is in that picture.
And that vision, I feel that we really followed throughout the whole development of the game. And even today in post-launch, all the updates are all in that direction. It's a really good segue into the next part, which is we wanted to show you guys the notebook of our creative director, which he brings every day to the office with him, which is pretty insane. So he has a year 1 notebook, year 2 notebook. Every day he takes notes. So we took a picture of a couple of
What about year 3 notebook? Can we have a year 3 notebook?
So here you can see from the beginning, we're in 2013 here, the barricades, the barbed wire, the destruction, everything was already there.
And just to give a timeline, we really started Siege at the very beginning of 2013, and our first prototypes were
Dude, you can see how barbed wire looked
preparation
back then.
phase,
That was the idea.
defender action, what do they do during those phases? And that barricade is almost similar to what you see in the game still today.
All the key ingredients that you're mentioning and that we're seeing here, like the barricades and the barbed wires, even though some have changed a little bit in terms of design, we're like very early on the plan and on the design. So it's striking to me, looking back again at those graphs and those drawings. So like, man, all the ideas, or pretty much all the key ingredients made it to the game. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, let's take a look at the second page that we have here today, which is also quite early in development, just to show you that the preparation phase pretty much existed
that's the
since
conception
beginning. It's very
design of
much
the drone.
Rainbow, very much tactical. I remember the first time I played the prototype, actually, I got at the studio, and I was kind of scared because I'm more of an RTS player, and as soon as I saw the drone, I was like, wow, like that's for me, like I can observe, I'm not gonna die now.
And it's cool that the idea of observation phase was like part of the design of the game, like making sure that it's not just a run and gun, it's also like taking more information while you play. And as we see today during the competition, people use it all the time, and it was like a initial element of the game design, so it's pretty cool to see it early on like that.
You can definitely do a lot in this game with just communication and map knowledge, and I don't know, I like it. Let's go into the next image, the third one, which was a key point for the development team. It's the introduction of the first operator. So that's in 2014.
Oh, that's Montaigne's design.
So what do you guys feel
And he was like a
that
puzzle.
brought to the game when this was introduced?
It's true, like operators and that first design of the GIGN very early on, it's a turning point for us. We were having the siege, we were having the destruction, we had at that moment, you know, the attack versus defense, so we knew at the time we had extremely solid foundations and already having fun with the prototypes very early on. And when that idea came in, the main thing that we were looking at when it comes to design was how do we create even more tactic, meaning even more choices for player, meaningful choices, and the
This is probably the first design you see of operator icons
exactly
too.
what it's all about. That whole roster of character. Each time a player selects one, he's basically communicating to the rest of his team, okay, this is the role that I'm going to be taking.
The metadata that it creates also internally of the team, so.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we did a lot of iteration to focus our core gameplay and nail that right off the bat. And what the operators did was expand their Siege universe. It really created something that you could hold on to, something that you could remember, something that you could associate. An operator, a tool, whether it be attack or defense, it came hand in hand. And that image from Javier representing GIGN with each CTU having its own characteristics. So GIGN is the heavy guys. And we had this aspect for every single CTU.
And its own personality like Tachenka, so it's pretty cool to see them actually be taking part in real life also. So like it's the whole universe around Rainbow.
And with the operators and the GAGN we're seeing here also, there was that aspect very early on where we knew we would have a huge universe to expand upon even after launch. We knew we had a key selection of key teams, the 5 that were at launch. Those are like the sort of historical CTUs that we wanted to have, but already in our minds, like sort of plans to say, hey, what's going to be the future and what are all those countries and groups that we can add on, and that whole operator concept or hero concept was that we can expand up to like years to come. And I think everyone now sees it. At the beginning it was a bold decision.
But even at the beginning, it fueled so many ideas. We did an operator days where the goal was to throw out as many ideas as you could to get the craziest tools for each side. And it came with some pretty good prototypes and some pretty big discussions.
Yeah, I remember actually, yeah, let's talk about Blitz, sure, but so we had this internal blog that we had where people, you know, they would chat together about the game because we were doing tournaments, so they would react there. But when we introduced operators, that was a really special moment. And then we were trying new ones in our internal tournaments, and then we came up with the original Blitz, which is definitely not the Blitz we have today. He was, I'm sure people are going to be a bit surprised about this, but he was an attacker that would spawn during the preparation phase.
To be able to go kill the
What?
defenders.
Yes.
What?
And he was totally disrupting the prep phase. So
Are you kidding
that
me?
generated a lot of discussion.
Oh, but it's cool that we still tried those crazy ideas.
Hang on. Okay, the original conception sign of Blitz was to attack the defenders while they're during prep phase. That's crazy. But anyway, someone asked why I'm not at this event. I made a Twitter post, a Facebook post, and Discord post of why I'm not at this event. And don't forget, you guys want year 2 season passes in description.
And then that's the whole point of conception, is to like try different ideas. Sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't, but at least we try a lot of stuff, which at the end, like those iterative process make the game better, trying new ideas and like just choose the good ones.
And every single time we'd have a prototype to prove one of those ideas, we'd always put it in the build. And like Jen said, we'd always validate it with an internal tournament, which was kind of our thing within the team, that once every 2 months, it was the reward. You'd get a Friday off because you'd be playing the game the entire day.
It's crazy. I remember like we'd have like 95% of the team playing.
Yeah.
It was insane. You'd walk by and people were screaming. We were like putting on face paint.
On a 100-people team, you'd have 95 players participating in the tournament, which never happens.
Thank you so much for the subscriber donation. Someone's subscribing or donating to me right now. Thank you. I can't see it right now, but I appreciate it. Actually, can I see it? No, I can't see who's subscribing or donating, but thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Okay,
well,
who's doing that? What is going on? What the hell's going on? Okay, are we good? What the? My alerts are off. Okay. Something's bugged. There we go. Turned it off.
About tournaments, I think it's a great transition into the next thing we wanted to show you guys, and that is actually one of, it may become my second favorite moment, let's be honest here, because this weekend is pretty cool. So Rainbow Six Cup tournament, it was in a series of tournaments. We had like 14 internal tournaments, and let's kick it off to the video, because that was the first one where we had all of Ubisoft Montreal participating.
Welcome, everyone, to the Rainbow Six Cup Grand Final!
Look at the old design of the game back then. my gosh. Even with Assassin's Creed logo on the back. There's actually something there that they
We
scrapped.
did an operator days where the goal.
Just choose the good one.
Of tournament.
Hang on. There's actually something that's new that we haven't seen before. Okay, you see this right here? I think that is a Jaeger's ADS here back then, or it's a whole completely thing that they decided to scrap. But I think that's the ADS, what Jaeger's ability looked like.
So as you can see right now, these are some pretty old images. The room was filled, and what we were playing was a prototype. We had, like, you can see.
Oh no, that's
it's
a
not looking
capture.
very
That's
pretty,
a bio.
But the
Okay.
important part was that
That's a secure
with that,
area.
we could have fun. I don't know if you guys have any particular memories of that tournament, but for me it was very special to see a filled up room, and I think it's really cool to see this weekend having so many people already tuning up on Friday. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, this is a critical, like sort of pivotal moment I feel in the for the dev team overall. This is the first moment that we're inviting all of the studio to actually play the game. We knew we had something like special. We were playing it during other tournaments, but the first time that you put it in the hands of maybe the public that's the most critical possible other devs, so that we're looking at your game, monitoring everything, looking at everything in every detail, and this is a moment that was very, very special and went extremely well, as we can see on the images.
Yeah, we had 357 participants, and how many did you expect again?
I think it was no more than 50 at the time. Like honestly, we had no clue. Like we were doing our own mini tournaments for us, like almost in-house.
And like you said, we were having fun. Like we thought we had something good, but we really needed to put it into someone else's hands to see if it actually was. And I don't know if you've noticed, but that was the first map, and it was Hereford.
Yeah, that is
If you
Hereford.
actually recognize it. And we had tons of people giving us plenty of comments on the gameplay, on the map. We even had people wanting to join our team because they had so much fun and they wanted to be a part of this. And one of the comments that strikes me is amazing potential for esports. And that's something that Alex brought to the table at the very beginning, that we wanted to go there, but we didn't know if we were going to make it or not. And having those 350 people from Ubisoft Montreal wanting to compete in this, having people stay late at night making up drawings of the map when no material was available to them, having coaches on certain of the teams that we had for the final.
Coaches, and also everyone from the team volunteered as well to make it a real, like, as much as possible esports event. Like we had commentators, we had you as a host, we had the fake referees.
Referees,
It was so cool.
Yeah, it's like it shows the potential. It showed the potential of the game. It showed all the design elements all in one. People were playing it, and it's like it really confirmed that we had something in our hands. And then here we are today, 3-4 years ago after.
Yeah, about 4 years. Yeah.
And it's like the dream became true, basically.
And it changed the vision of the rest of the studio about the game. And you mentioned that turning point for me is like that moment after that tournament where everyone in the studio had a chance to play, see, or just watch at the final. We had like so many people from the studio like knocking on our doors and saying, hey guys, the project looks awesome and plays awesome. I want to be part of it. And since it was the one of the only multiplayer FPS in Montreal at the time, and there's lots of solid players here. I think it was a good way to recruit also people.
We definitely have a team of players. I see a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of
The
people
goal,
playing.
the goal with the tournament also is like most of the people on the team are like hardcore first-person shooter players. We use like some of the like me, where we used to play Counter-Strike. Like we are the hardest critic on our own game. So if it pleases or the devs, we knew it could please the.
It's true.
The
The DNA of the team, it's and the culture of the team when we started were very much FPS focused.
Yeah, exactly. That was validation of our own thoughts, because for 6 months, because that prototype was 6 months into the development of Siege, we had the alpha team playing.
Oh, that's
every week
interesting.
and
6
giving
months and
feedback to
that's the
team.
design
And
of the
we
game. That's not
create
bad
the
at
new
all.
build
It's
the
pretty
week
good.
after Friday Frag Fests. To every Friday, people would play just to iterate on it and to get it to that point.
The alpha team was the best players basically on the floor. So.
But that was super scary because it was taking our thing that looks kind of shaky, a very ugly duckling, but saying, okay, play
Look at it.
It's yours.
Try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Give
the-
us feedback, because we also received a lot of feedback with that tournament, and it was one of the first iteration of us taking feedback, and I think it's something that we brought after the launch, and I can see the whole team embracing it. Second screens, always on the subreddit, on the forums, reading, sharing videos of like YouTubers that
Yeah,
found
basically,
something.
what I remember is like the catchphrase at the time was like a game from players, like by players to from players to players.
By players,
By
for
players, for
players.
players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we're all players. We all very analyze the game, and then if we're happy with it, we know people will like it.
Let's go into our last image of the day. So we were talking about tournaments, and it was this one is quite pertinent. It's the 6 Invitational logo. So let's look at it. If it can come up on screen. But we can still talk about it, and I'm sure it will show up sometime. Here you go. That image is representative of the 6 Invitational, because it's not just the icon, it's also the seasons with the colors, and it's also the pro players, the devs, the community, Tachanka in the back. What does it mean to be here today for you guys?
This is such a special moment. I think early on, and you've seen on the images the past tournaments, and like it's like 3-4 years, and we were like sort of dreaming about those moments, like 6 Invitational now, like and being at 1 year anniversary of Rainbow Six now, game being stronger than ever, more players today than we had in the past at any given point, and being here, being able to invite in Montreal, in our own home, pro players, devs, community players, it means the world to us.
Right, it's crazy. I mean, season 1, we just set up one TV for the final, and you had every dev member just go up to that TV and look. And here we are a year later, and I walk into this room yesterday and just breathe it in. The lights, the teams, everything. I am extremely humbled to be here right now and so proud.
Yeah, and thanks to the fan, because like it's because of the community that we can do this, and it's very humbling, like Matt said.
It's so amazing that people have embraced this game and taken it to this level, to this level, which is once again what we hoped for, but could have never imagined it would have gotten this far.
Like 4 years ago, we were dreaming of this, and now we're here. It's really cool, and I know some people traveled from so far to be here. It's amazing. Like we have people from not just the players, but we have like families from Brazil. We have like people from France, people from Poland. Like we have a team from Singapore. That's so cool.
So cool.
All right, so that is it. Just wanted to end on that note. Thank you so much for being there, everyone, the panelists, the people in the crowd. We are really happy that you're here. And enjoy the weekend, and we'll be back with more panels. Thank you, and let's see the finals. Oh, the next match.
Okay, so that is the panel where we kind of show you the development of Siege, how it became Siege and what it is today. So that was a very unique inside look to that. But anyways, tomorrow we'll get more Velvet Shell news, and then Sunday will be the gameplay, where you see about 30 minutes of gameplay on their live stream, and now I have 2-hour gameplay on my channel. Make sure you guys have subscribed and that the bell button's activated so you see those gameplay. And if you need you want to play the game on the 7th, which is Season Pass owners, it's in description for the giveaway. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
Or will you side with the Vikings and their thirst for battle? Choose your faction. Lead your army into battle. And claim victory to reap the spoils of war. This is not a world to be shared. It is a world to be taken. Your path to faction victory is not carved in stone. It is paved in blood. Sign up for the closed beta on January 26th.